All right, welcome. Thank you everyone for joining Aparo's Nonprofit Bites and Insights. If you are coming in from Charlotte, happy rainy Thursday. My name's Yen Ting. I am Program Associate with Aparo. Today's session is the final part of a three-part series around donor cultivation and stewardship, where we are going to be viewing some quick demos from 3 popular donor management tools. Like I said before, if you're just joining us, drop in the chat, let us know who you are and what organization you're with to help us get started. So I just want to quickly note at Aparo, we are vendor agnostic, and our focus is on helping nonprofit partners make decisions that make sense for them, whatever that might be. We do have this service called Community Impact Projects, which we lovingly call our CIPs, where we connect nonprofits with a team of skilled volunteers to help make decisions with confidence. Selecting donor management tool is a very popular project, so we thought, why not invite a few vendors to our webinar and give our nonprofits a taste of the demo process. So today we are here with 3 vendors to share their donor management tool. We have Timmy from Little Green Light, Michael from Bloomerang, and Olivia from Kindful joining us. Now, this is going to be a very speedy round of demos. Each of them will only have 15 minutes to complete their demos. So if you participated in demos in the past, they're usually an hour and a half. So to manage expectations, this will be pretty high level, very quick. But the hope is that after this hour, you're going to get to know a little bit more about these popular tools and what kind of features are out there for you to consider. Not only that, our attendees will also be getting the direct contacts to our presenters today to ask any further questions or to inquire about next steps. I did share with them the questions and key topics that you shared on the registration form. But please note that because of the time constraints, they may not be able to address all of those. We also probably won't have time for a proper full-on Q&A, but like I said, you will be getting the contact information from the presenters today to ask your questions. There will be a follow-up email with those contact information as well as the link to this recording. So we are going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start with Little Green Light. It's going to be followed by Bloomerang, and then we will wrap up with Kindful. To our presenters today, I will be giving you all a 5-minute warning. Give me just a second, and Timmy, you will have the floor.
Great. Are we all set?
Go ahead.
Yes. Okay, awesome. I'm going to go ahead and start my screen, but first let me just say hello. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us here this morning. I really appreciate the opportunity to present Little Green Light to you. I thank Aparo very much for considering us in their lineup of vendors to share with you. So I'm going to go ahead and just begin to share my screen. I always thought this would be easy. I only see a whiteboard option. Is that unusual?
You don't see a green button to share your screen?
I do, but when I click on it, it only gives me a whiteboard option.
There should be an option to share your screen. Just a second.
It looks like I can, oh, I don't want to connect my Google Drive. That's what it wanted me to do. The one thing we didn't practice, huh?
I'm inviting Olivia and Michael back on.
Great.
Can either of you share your screen? Sorry, folks, technical difficulties.
It looks like it's letting me share mine.
Yeah, so it says whiteboard and then also
whatever screen I have pulled up.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing on mine too.
Let me, maybe because I didn't have my screen up, let's see. Ah, that's what it was. Thank you, guys. All right. I had it hidden, my screen, so that's why I couldn't find me. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for being patient here with me. Let me go ahead and start my slideshow and we'll dive in. So as I said, thank you so much for this opportunity to share Little Green Light with you. My name is Timmy and I am Little Green Light's Senior Marketing Manager. But what I really like to tell everyone is that I'm really LGL's chief enthusiast. And that's because I have had the pleasure of not only working for Little Green Light for the last almost 11 years now, but I also was one of Little Green Light's very first customers. So most of my experience has been in your shoes, working at nonprofits, helping to help advance organizations' missions. So I know the importance of having a great donor management system and the benefits it can have for you. So that's a little about me. Let's talk a little bit about Little Green Light. Little Green Light is, we call it LGL for short. We are a cloud-based donor management and constituent relationship management tool. We were really built primarily for the needs of small and mid-sized nonprofits specifically. We really wanted to develop a software solution that was as powerful and as robust as some of the big guys out there, but we wanted to be able to create a program that was much more affordable, easier to use, and intuitive. So the key things that we were trying to do when we created Little Green Light was to create a system that would help you to build and grow strong relationships with your organization's supporters and help you to better organize the fundraising data that you're maintaining so that you can really be more strategic in your outreach efforts and be more effective. And lastly, we really wanted to give you a tool that was going to help you to increase your productivity and save you time. We know that in our work, as in our own work with small nonprofits and with the customers that use LGL, that many of our customers are using have lots of other responsibilities on their plate other than advancement and development work. And we knew we needed to provide them with a tool that would make it really easy for them to hop in, do what they need to do, and get out and focus their time and energies on their donors. So during the presentation here this morning, I'm going to try to give you some highlights of some of the things that you can expect to do with Little Green Light. But first and foremost, know that LGL was built so that you could keep track of everybody that was important to your organization all in one database. So although we call ourselves a donor management system, we really are a system that is going to make it possible for you to store information about any person or any business that your nonprofit is interacting with that you want to maintain information on and continue to store it and cultivate. So it's not just for donors. With Little Green Light, you'll have some abilities to be able to do all sorts of things, but at its heart, we want to make it easy for you to communicate with your constituents and do so in a personalized way. So LGL does come with a built-in mailings process as well as an email functionality that allows you to be able to send things like thank yous and reminders and receipts. Your year-end tax statements all can be done within Little Green Light. We've built some really robust but easy to use search mechanisms and reporting capabilities that makes it possible for you to be able to search on and report on any piece of information that you're maintaining in your Little Green Light account, including any custom fields you create. LGL comes loaded with a whole bunch of fields, but we know from our work with nonprofits that sometimes there's just a piece of data you need that isn't really common to others. So we want to give you the opportunity to create what you need. We also have a really awesome forms capability that's included with Little Green Light, comes with your subscription. It's one of the great features. With it, you can actually create branded forms that you can embed on your website, and your constituents can complete that form and have the information that they've completed automatically sync back up with your Little Green Light database. Can be a really great time-saving tool. Those forms can also be used to accept one-time or recurring donations or any other kinds of payments that you need. And then lastly, I know that connectivity with other solutions was really important to you as we were getting your questions. And I do want to share that Little Green Light is connected with many software solutions that nonprofits are already using, things like QuickBooks Online, even tools like MailChimp and Constant Contact for email marketing are available. And we also have recently integrated with Zapier to make it even more able for you to pull in information from any other software solutions out there that you might be using. So we're going to take a look at kind of 4 key areas in the time we have together today. Specifically, we're going to talk about the constituent record, kind of gifts and acknowledgements and what you can do there, our reporting, and then a little deeper look into integrations. So instead of actually showing you a Little Green Light account today, I thought it was quickest and easiest to kind of do this through a presentation deck, but I do want to encourage you to come to a full demo and even try out Little Green Light for yourself. I will share at the end how you can do that. But first, I want to start with a little bit of a kind of a peek into a constituent profile page in Little Green Light. We'd like to think about the profile as really kind of the heart of Little Green Light, and it is really a 360-degree view of that person that you're working with or that business that you want to have a conversation or a relationship with. You can keep track of who they are, their giving history, if they have any. You can even take advantage of different fields to be able to capture common attributes and use those fields to easily sort and filter your data by those commonalities. So that makes it really easy, for instance, for you to tag your records and identify how it is that they're connected with your organization. So if you need to send a targeted solicitation or mailing or email to your group of volunteers, those tags make that really easy to do. Those are totally customizable, and we give you some to start with, so you don't have to start from scratch, but you also can add others and even edit what is available to you. So you have a lot of customization options if you need them. We also will give you opportunities to kind of take a look at not only who this person is, but how they're connected to others in your database as well. So you can set up relationships between this record and any other record or records in the database that you wish. The thing that I don't show you on the screen, but is probably one of my favorite parts about the constituent profile, is that we do show you a chronological history of every activity that you've had with this constituent over time at the bottom of their constituent record. So if you want to know who spoke to them last and about what, or which mailing they received, or did they open that email, you can see and view all of that right in their constituent record. So as I said, lots to tell you, but only a short time to do it. So we're going to head over kind of to the next area that I want to give you a little sneak peek into, and that is how Little Green Light can help you to manage information as it pertains to the gifts that you're receiving, the outreach efforts that you're doing, and ultimately make it easy for you to generate personalized acknowledgements. So just know that Little Green Light does come with the capability for you to track all kinds of gifts, whether they're monetary gifts that you're receiving via a check in the mail or they're coming online via a form. You can keep all of that information in Little Green Light. You can also track in-kind gifts as well as tributes, even soft credits, and matching can be managed in LGL. Just like constituents, you can also assign coding to your gifts so that you have a better understanding of the purpose for which that gift is being raised. If that money is being designated to a specific purpose, you can allocate it to a fund. You can even keep track of the different outreach efforts and solicitations that you're doing by assigning gifts to that particular solicitation via an appeal. And lastly, LGL does have event functionality as well. So if it's important for you to be able to keep track of who it is that are attending events, whether they're fundraising events or other times of activities, or money that has been received for those events, you can do that in Little Green Light as well. I share a little bit of a picture of what kind of the kinds of information you can see that is stored in Little Green Light as it pertains to a gift. So you can quickly see at a glance who gave the gift, how much it was for, what the payment method was, whether or not the gift had been acknowledged and what the acknowledgement was, and then that related information in terms of how it is that that money is being allocated. And I also show you a quick view of a sample of a gift acknowledgement. This is a printed gift acknowledgement, but you could generate something very much like this also for an email acknowledgement. The great thing about Little Green Light is that we provide you with merge fields that you can embed into your acknowledgements, and it will pull information from the gift record directly into that acknowledgement. So every single acknowledgement can be personalized with the donor's name, their gift amount, and any other piece of data that you wish.
4-minute warning to me.
1, 5, 4. Oh my goodness. Okay. Wow. All right. So reporting. I know reporting is also really key. The questions about whether or not or what kinds of reporting mechanisms are available is always important to investigate. LGL does have a bunch of pre-built reports that you can generate in a spreadsheet or PDF format. We also have custom reporting capabilities as well, which will allow you to be able to schedule and run reports automatically. We have some great on-screen reports, a couple that I show here, as well as a fundraising dashboard. So you can see information right at your fingertips and take action right away. This giving by constituent by year report I find to be really helpful. Gives me a quick glance as to who's given this year and compares it to the past 3 as well. And if I need to get a quick glance about what's happening, I can just head over to my dashboard to do that. Integrations. So as I said, LGL really wanted to make sure that we provided ways for you to be able to connect with solutions that you're already using. We also wanted to actually build some systems that we thought were really needed, including our own forms feature. These are some examples of the kinds of forms that you can create, and you can match them to your organization's branding. Our email is really text-based, but it's great for things like acknowledgements and reminders and emails. If you're looking for doing marketing emails, you can in LGL, but we'd really recommend a third-party integration with like a MailChimp or Constant Contact, which we built. Pricing, important. We base our pricing solely on the number of constituent records that you manage in your Little Green Light account. Our pricing starts at $45 a month. We have monthly subscription plans, no long-term contracts. You can have unlimited users. All features and functionality, even the ones we didn't talk about, are included, as well as our support and training. If you're interested in learning about how you can get started with Little Green Light, I definitely would recommend joining one of our full demos. You can do that right from our website. You'll see a little blue button right on the homepage to sign up for one. We also do offer a free 30-day account so that you can test it out for yourself. If you use the promo code Apero today, we'll put $150 credit in your account from Apero. And if you decide to subscribe, we'll take that off your first payment or 2. And if you have any questions, the best way to reach me is to contact me at info@littlegreenlight.com.
Amazing job. Thank you so much, Timmy.
You're welcome.
We will be moving on to Michael from Bloomerang.
Awesome. I think I'm all set. Am I good?
We
All right,
can see
awesome.
you.
Great. Let me share my screen real quick. All righty. And is my screen popping up?
Yes. we see
Okay,
it.
cool. Awesome. Well, yeah, thanks again to Aparo for having all of us be able to present. And like you said earlier, there's not a ton of time today, so I want to make sure to give some high-level overview of just general CRM functionality that Bloomerang will provide, but also give some background into what makes Bloomerang unique and why our customers love us and things like that. So the first thing I want to talk about is a little bit of the foundation of Bloomerang, how Bloomerang was founded. Now, this gentleman here that I'm circling, this is Jay Love. He was our founder. And he's been in the tech space specifically for fundraising for about the last 40 years. And when he was creating Bloomerang, really kind of the main thing he wanted to do was consult with some experts in the industry to figure out what pieces are missing from donor management systems, specifically for small and medium-sized nonprofits. So he worked with Dr. Adrian Sargent. So he's one of the thought leaders that had a lot of say in the product direction of Bloomerang. And what they identified was that there were some missing opportunities with nonprofits to improve donor retention rates, to keep their donors around year over year, keep their funding sustainable, things like that, as well as helping small and medium-sized nonprofits that don't have the bandwidth to do a lot of prospecting and major gift fundraising and things like that, to easily identify in your list of donors which donors are people you should be focusing on, which people you could ask to be a monthly donor, a major gift donor, that sort of thing. So I'm going to highlight some of that today. So again, from a foundational standpoint, as a donor management CRM, we have all the basics that you would need out of a donor management system. So, things like, tracking contact information, gift information, event info, interactions, custom fields, right? Like all of those things are just kind of core functionality pieces of Bloomerang. That in mind, we are more than just a donor management CRM, right? So this is just kind of a list of some functionality that we've added to do some of those things we mentioned with helping nonprofits with retention and finding giving opportunities. So, helping you see which donors are engaging with you, capacity to give, some retention statistics. We do have some integrated communication pieces that are built into the fabric of the software. Automatic address updates. So every single night we'll scan your entire database and update addresses every night. We do have unlimited online giving pages, mobile app. So we have all of that. Now, that in mind, I want to just kind of hop into Bloomerang really quickly and just show a couple of foundational pieces to our system, right? I'm not going to spend a ton of time into the weeds of like core CRM stuff. I want to make sure to show some things that kind of separate us and make us a little bit different. So that in mind, I'm going to switch over here and I'm going to go over to our dashboard. Now, we were very intentional in the layout of our dashboard. We wanted to make sure that we were helping nonprofits focus on the right things to improve donor retention. So as you can see, first and foremost, we're monitoring your retention rate on a daily basis. Basically, in a nutshell, I have 425 people that gave to me 12 to 24 months ago. Out of those same 425, I have 193 that have also given to me again in the previous 12 months. Now, this is set up as a rolling day-by-day schedule, but you can have it set up to your fiscal year, your calendar year. You can exclude campaigns, funds, things like that from this to further customize your retention rate. But one of those things where if your retention is top of mind, it's something you're organically going to improve on. So we wanted to make sure that was front and center. We're also going to include this first-time donor call list. There's all sorts of research out there that shows, first-time donors are only retained at about a 20% rate. But after you retain them to make a second donation, that retention rate jumps to about 60%. So getting that second gift is really important. There's research that shows that by calling a donor within 48 hours, they're about 4 times more likely to give a second gift. So on the dashboard, we're going to show you who your first time donors are. That way you can call them, follow up with them, start that relationship off strong. So again, dashboard, we've tried to create it to help with donor retention and make sure you're following up with the right people. Now, I'm going to hop into a constituent record. So I'm going to search for an example donor. So I'm going to look up John Lecklider. I'm in Indianapolis, so this is a real person here in town. But going back to what I was saying earlier about, we want to help you identify the best giving opportunities in your database. And there's 2 really key areas that you should focus on, 2 key indicators that show that one of your donors is ready to be giving an upgraded donation, whether it's a small level donor to a mid-level donor, a mid-level donor to a major donor, or even is this person a good candidate to be a monthly donor or a planned gift donor, right? That first indicator is that that person has an affinity for your mission. They care about you. They're engaging with you. So I want to draw your attention to this engagement level. In a nutshell, this is a rating from cold to on fire that's showing you how engaged each person is to your organization. And the guy that I had mentioned earlier, going back to that slide, this gentleman, Dr. Adrian Sargent, he's been a fundraising researcher for the past like 20, 25 years. And he's the one that designed the algorithm that lives in this engagement level. So it's pulling in factors like, how frequent does this person make donations? Are they giving donations monthly, quarterly, annually? Are they upgrading? Are they downgrading? Have they lapsed? But it's also pulling in other indicators of engagement. So things like when we use Bloomerang's email tool to send out an email, are they opening that email? Do they click links inside of that email? Do they visit our website? Do they attend our events? Do they volunteer? Do they have soft credits on their account? How many interactions, phone calls, things like that? This algorithm is pulling in all of that data into one metric so you can easily see in your list who is engaging with me the most, who are the people that are engaged enough that they should be asked to upgrade their gift or to be a monthly donor. So that's one key indicator that we try to provide for all of our nonprofits, rather than having to try to compile a ton of different reports and try to figure out who's engaging in what ways. This is one holistic metric. Now, we also have integrations with wealth screening. So we integrate with donor search. So on the same token, you know, the best indicator for a giving opportunity is engagement. That number 2 indicator is, look, does this person have capacity or not? Now, this is an optional tool, but a lot of our customers enjoy it, where you're able to basically click a donor search button here and it will show you a full wealth screen of that person. Now, I'm not trying to do a donor search demo today, but basically it's going to show you all their capacity based on what they give to other nonprofits, political gifts. And then the main point I want to point out here is that this also focuses on charitable giving. So how much does this person give to other nonprofits? So I can see, like, look, this person gives to the United Way every year. They give $1 million donations. The orchestra in town, right? Now, not all of you probably have people in your database that maybe are giving $1 million gifts, but you may have people that are giving $500 that could be giving 5,000. And that's really what we're here to show you, is help you identify, like, out of having hundreds or thousands of people in your list, how do we help you identify the right people to focus on? And that's what we do with engagement and with generosity here, okay? Now, the last thing about generosity is donor search does rank all donors on a 5-point scale. So this DS1-1, this last one basically goes from a 1 to 5. If somebody's a 1, that means that they give at least $5,000 or more to another nonprofit. That 5-point rating goes into this meter here. And the reason that's important is because you don't have to look at everybody's donor search profile. You can just see in their record, does this person have capacity? Do they not have capacity? You don't need to waste your time focusing on people down here in this cold, cool range and looking at their profile, because they don't have much in there. So it's there to help you kind of gauge, without needing to go into donor search, what their capacity looks like. So those were like some key things I wanted to make sure to point out. I also wanted to briefly show reports and just give you a look into that functionality. So from a reporting standpoint, like, you can build reports, save them. We have templates that you can start from. So LIBUNT reports, SciBunts, top donors, loyal donors, things like that. But we take a lot of pride in our filter-based reporting. So for example, if I build a constituent report, this is how I would build a list of people, right? And every field in Bloomerang is filterable, whether it's a transaction field, a custom field, address info, any data in here is filterable. So for example, I have 2,000 people in my database down here. But if I just want to find my major gift candidates or people to upgrade or whatever it may be, like, that engagement metric is reportable. So I can add a filter for engagement level is on fire. And basically it's going to whittle my list down to just people that care about me the most, people engaging with me the most. Out of those people, maybe I only want to see people that have high capacity to give. So I can pull that generosity piece, that donor search piece also in here to show me, okay, here's a list of people that are engaged with me that also have high capacity to give. So you can do that. You can pull in transaction data. So just show me people that have given in 2021, 2020, build trend reports out, things like that, right? So sorry, was that a 5-minute mark?
5 minute warning.
Awesome. So So those are the main things I wanted to show. Like I said, we have a letter generator to send out physical letters, acknowledgements, things like that. We have a full-blown email editor. We do integrate with MailChimp. If you decided to keep an outside tool, you can always integrate with MailChimp. That said, we get a lot of positive feedback on our built-in email editor. It works very much like a MailChimp or like a Constant Contact. So we have all of that as well. We have unlimited online giving pages. So again, all that kind of base functionality. I'm going to pop back over to my slides really quickly and just a couple of other items to mention. So integrations, I know integrations is important to everybody. So this just kind of shows some of the native integrations that we provide as well as other integration options. So first off, I wanted to mention we integrate with Kindful online fundraising tools. So Kindful is going to be doing the demo right after this one. They are a Bloomerang product as well. And if you purchase the Bloomerang product, you're able to integrate with the Kindful online fundraising tool program. They have some really great online giving tools. We're able to integrate with that as well. We already talked about Donor Search, MailChimp, integrate with QuickBooks Online and Desktop. True Givers, which is what I mentioned earlier about automatic address updates every night. We also notify people that notify you of people that have passed away in your database and mark them as deceased. That way you're not accidentally reaching out to people that you shouldn't be. Gratavid for video thank yous. There's some more that we offer, but those are the main ones. But also similar to Little Greenlight, we also have a Zapier integration. So that basically allows you to integrate with I think there's like 2,000 or 3,000 different systems on Zapier that you could build integrations with. So you can do that. And we also have an open API, which unlocks the ability for custom integrations. Lastly, pricing. So basically all pricing is by number of constituents in your database. It's technically by households. So if you have people in a household, it's only priced per household record. But we have pricing tiers, so 0 to 1,000, 1,000 to 5,000 in the pricing here. All of our pricing is also on our website if you want to look at that. We publicize all of that. We don't really hide anything from you all. But all of our plans, it includes the email marketing tool, some basic wealth analytics, email and chat support, unlimited users, giving forms, the address updates, and some free training. And that's everything. I hope I did a good job. But anyway, here's some information from me. If you all have any questions, I don't care how small they are, how big they are, feel free to reach out to me. I'm an account executive with Bloomerang. So my role is to help you evaluate Bloomerang. If you decide that you're interested at all, I would have a consultation call to learn more about what you're doing, make sure that Bloomerang is going to be a good fit, because we do know Bloomerang is not going to be the best fit with everybody. But we'll make sure to digest your needs together, your goals for fundraising, put together a solution, do a personal demo for you. And I'm the perfect person here for you to chat with. So rather than going through our marketing channels through the website, if you wanted to just reach out to me directly, here's my email. Feel free to text me or call me by my cell phone. I work from home right now, or you can follow me on LinkedIn and connect with me there. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Michael. We have a couple minutes. So real quick, can you go back to the pricing?
Sure.
Slide. So we had a question. Did you say the pricing is based on number of household records?
Number of household records. So for example, if you have Michael Amspaugh as a donor in your database and Brianna Amspaugh as a donor record in your database, those are two separate individual records, but you can put them into a household. And when you put them into a household, that's technically 3 separate records. So there's a household record, Michael Amspaugh, Brianna Amspaugh. From a pricing standpoint, those 3 only count as 1 record.
Gotcha. Thank you for clarifying.
No problem.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing.
Thank you. And then I am going to move Olivia up. Olivia.
All right, I think I'm good.
Hello. Yes.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and share my screen. Hello, everybody. Thank you for the patience. I know it's a bunch of information coming your way, but excited to share Kindful with you. As Michael said, exciting part is, Bloomerang and Kindful have come together. So there is some overlap that you'll see based off of what he's talked about, but the back end is still purely Kindful, as well as the fundraising tools that I'm going to show you. As far as myself, I've been with Kindful for 8 years now, so almost from the very beginning. The purpose of Kindful came about from our founder, who was doing a lot of consulting work with nonprofits and just kept hearing the same thing over and over again about how their information was everywhere, siloed, not having one spot, but that they didn't want to get rid of certain tools. So maybe they loved MailChimp or they loved Eventbrite. So that's where Kindful came out of, is the idea of, yes, definitely a full donor management CRM, but also being able to integrate with different products and have your fundraising tools built in as well. So just kind of a quick, I'm going to exit full screen so I can show you all a couple things. As I said, being able to see all of your tools in one spot, so that, let's say that you use Square, or you have MailChimp or QuickBooks desktop or online, or you are utilizing a hand bid, an auction platform, something that you might use once a year, and being able to make sure that that information automatically updates, so you're not importing and exporting data, but you can see the full picture whenever you log into your CRM. So we really pride ourselves on the fact we now have over 50 integrations completely built in, where you're just authorizing, logging in, connecting, and then the information is flowing. We also do have an open API. So if you have a technical team that is really loving the idea of an open API, we give all the documentation. There's no additional price for utilizing that, but giving both of those two worlds. But again, you still have your fundraising tools as well, so that you can do peer-to-peer fundraising, you can do one-time recurring giving, and we allow for integration with 3 different merchants. So giving you the flexibility with that, even connecting with through Stripe with Apple Pay, Android Pay, and Google Pay. So especially over the last 2 years, really wanting to make sure making online giving easy and people not navigate away from your donation page, and making it a bit more frictionless. Obviously, this is a lot of features listed, but did want to give a quick breakdown since we are limited on time, just showing you all the different features that we have completely built in to the system. Again, you can connect with me directly if you have more direct questions about any of these features or how it could meet your needs as an organization, but just giving you the overview of knowing that we do have the full CRM on the back end. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of just examples of online giving. So from here, I wanted you to have just a quick screenshot of knowing what a peer-to-peer page looks like. So it allows for individuals or teams to raise money. You can have a goal amount. As you can tell, you can have a really cool picture set up. Everything flows directly within the database, but really neat way to not necessarily have to utilize something like Facebook for that online giving for a peer-to-peer event, is that you have that built in. You also have the ability with 2 different types of online giving pages. So the first one would be your more large branded page. Everything is mobile responsive, whether it's peer-to-peer or the online giving. You can add custom questions onto it. They can do one-time or recurring. You also, which we've seen a huge uptick in the last 2 years, is really prompt a specific amount for a recurring gift. So let's say you want to do an appeal for $25 monthly. That's all that shows up when they click to donate. Image in the background, up to you. What I love most about these is they're so easy to set up. You're uploading a photo, choosing a color, and then adding on any custom fields that you want. All custom fields, along with just the transactional fields, are also searchable or you can filter on them, as well as you can report on them. Now, this would be an example of our plugin. So let's say you want something a little bit more simplified, embeds directly into the page, is that they can just simply put their information in. They can still pay through credit card or ACH. But making it easier, you can even do A/B testing on the back end. So if you are really wanting to see where donations are converting, even if it's the same campaign throughout your website, this is a great tool because you could actually see, okay, $500 came in based off of this plugin, but 750 came in based off of this. So you know where they're really resonating within your website, and where it's compelling them to make a gift. So those are the 3 different types of fundraising tools you have. You also have access to event pages and ticketing, but I do want to show you the back end. So this would be your dashboard. The dashboard updates automatically, whether you're integrating with QuickBooks, using fundraising tools, or even just manually entering transactions in the top left. So we always want you to have a clear view. If you just wake up, want to log in and see maybe you have a huge fundraiser going on, who's given overnight, you'll have a list on the far right. And then acquisition and retention at the top. Everything is interactive. So you can quickly click on any of these metrics and have a full breakdown, as well as your 3-year comparison, graph of financials. Everything can be physical or it can be calendar year. You get to set that on the back end so that you can see it appropriately and set your goals. From there, diving in further to reporting capabilities is our activities page. So this is where we want you to be able to see any interaction or activity you have with an individual, business, foundation, whomever it might be. So as I scroll down, you'll notice, I always describe it kind of like a news feed where you have every single different piece of information that you're collecting, obviously most recent at the top. I can expand it to get more detail. You can even void refund a transaction directly from here if you needed to. Receipting happens automatically for online and offline gifts, but obviously sometimes they call you and they want you to regenerate it. So we give you quick access. But when it comes to reporting, we want you to quickly be able to choose the information you want to see. So I could say, all right, show me transactions. We are at the end of the month. I want to see how I've done. So I'm going to do March 1st and just click it in. I could hit a sum total really quickly, or I could create a report from here. So everything's within the same window. We don't want you navigating between different tabs, but you'll notice just like Little Green Light and Bloomerang, you have all the different ways of filtering. So any information you're collecting, you can search on. As well as bottom left, you have scheduled reporting, and then you have any canned reports that you might want to run. So your LIBUNT, SIBUNT, your lapsed, all of these are pre-built for you. But again, you can create and save as many as you want and then automate them. You do have unlimited users. You can assign permission roles. So if you want to restrict what somebody can do, maybe they can see, but they can't touch anything, you certainly can do that. So that when we come to a contact profile, you can see that Daniel is a recurring donor. You have all of his acquisition and retention information at the top. I can even tab through fiscal year and lifetime giving. We take into account that non-cash gifts, soft credits are just as important to be able to see. So those will track directly. He has his own 3-year graph, so you can see where he is in comparison to the last 2 years. Wealth is same as Bloomerang. It's our connection with donor search, built a little bit differently, but it is the same type of data that's pulling in. So allowing you to see capacity to give, propensity to give. Do they give to organizations like yours? When I hit view details, it expands further. So really being able to dive in and see where are their interests, what type of organizations do they give to, etc.
5-minute warning.
Jumping back to the profile, just to give you the rest of the view, we have our tasks, so our reminders, so really the follow-ups. Below that is history. So everything that's populating on that main activities page is also populating here, so that you can see anything from a call note, an email from your work email, which is syncing directly in, a soft credit, a pledge, all of that will automatically update for you. I could hit view all and it would take me to see everything and be able to filter down based off of it. So really great way for if you're wanting to prospect and put people into certain groups and know, okay, these are individuals that have given over $1,000 in their lifetime. You can quickly pull that and add them into a group, and then that would appear on their profile. So everything that we're looking at with filtering and on that profile is built into the system, but you certainly can build out whatever else you want to track. So I'm going to pop back to Daniel for a second before our time is up and show you how you can do that. We know all nonprofits are different. You collect different information that's really valuable, important to you. So we give you the space to be able to create those custom fields that you can then search on, report on. Those can sync with your donation pages, as well as any event ticketing pages or any forms that you create. Those fields can sync automatically into the system, so you're not manually entering them. So really great way to cut down on time. I always say, if you're in Kindful all day, give me a call because we're doing something wrong. Is we want to automate as many processes as possible. So lastly, just kind of ending on that, where I started, is we do believe highly in the idea of integrations, knowing that you are going to find other platforms, even if it's one-off, that you really want to utilize. So we have an app directory. So really simple to be able to connect and utilize other systems. So these are all of the platforms that you can directly integrate with Kindful. No cost on our end, obviously, as you all know. Some of them will have their own costs, but great way to be able to expand, as you need, and know that information you will not need to manually import, that you can just connect and it will update for you. So I will pause there because I don't know if there's questions. Do we have any questions? I didn't know if you wanted to open it up because that was a bit of the overview. I don't want to overwhelm too much more information since they've seen 2 other platforms.
So we had a question about, do any of the systems integrate with Run Sign Up or another race platform?
So I know with Kindful, we don't integrate with Run Sign Up, but WebConnects is one platform that has, goodness, I think like 3 or 4 different systems that they integrate with now, or not integrate with, sorry, that they have underneath their umbrella that we integrate with. Like Red Podium is one of them that I know does like big running events.
And I would say LGL also does not have a direct integration with either of those platforms. Zapier might be a solution. I'm not familiar with whether or not those, if there is a Zap for that particular platform, but that would be something they could research as well.
Yeah, I actually looked it up. There is a Zapier app for Run Sign Up. So theoretically, there would be an integration possibility there with any of our systems.
Can one of you explain, it could just be me, but can one of you explain a little bit more about what Zapier is?
I can, if that's fine. In a nutshell, Zapier is a third-party connector type of software that basically will allow you to create your own integrations between 2 pieces of software. So, for example, let's say just just as an example, let's say like there's like PayPal or something like that. And you want to connect that with a donor management system. Like in Zapier, you could do a link between PayPal and Bloomerang, or PayPal and Little Green Light, or PayPal or Kindful, or whatever it may be, as long as the two apps are Zapier certified. And it works like it's a trigger and action. So basically, when this event happens in PayPal, that will trigger this app action to then happen in this piece of software. So that's kind of a simplified way to say it. I mean, you can do some pretty in-depth integrations. Some of them are easy kind of to set up on yourself. Other things may need like somebody that has some pretty significant IT experience, but yeah, it's a really convenient tool for people to automate some workflows.
And just to clarify, all three platforms are Zapier certified?
Yes.
Yes. Yep.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you for explaining that. So we do have 9 minutes, so we're going to run through a Q&A. Thank you to the three of you for keeping your time. I really appreciate that. So direct question to Tammy. Do you have a third-party credit card processors that is integrated with Little Green Light?
So yeah, so am I muted? I'm muted. I'm muted, I think. I'm good. So Little Green Light does have our own payment processing solution, similar to what Olivia talked about with Kindful. We integrate with 3 payment processing solutions they can choose from. So Stripe, PayPal, or ProPay are the 3 options.
Thank you. We have quite a few people who are currently using Bloomerang. One of them has a question: are we able to access Kindful tools?
Yeah, so we're continuously expanding on that relationship. Right now, the Bloomerang system integrates with Kindful fundraising tools, which would be like the online giving form. So like there's like an embedded plugin for online donations that lives on your website. There's campaign pages, there's peer-to-peer giving, event forms, things like that. All of those online Kindful fundraising tools integrate with the Bloomerang CRM.
Do any of your systems work with daily admission?
I'm not familiar with daily admission. Are you all? I'm guessing school-based.
I'm assuming something either school-based admissions or like museum, zoo, that sort of thing, maybe. I can speak on Bloomerang's behalf that we don't have anything built in that covers that extent of admissions. That's something normally our customers would keep separate, or if you needed some sort of integration to happen, we would just ask that you use a different system, and then you can pull that data in through Zapier or through our open API custom integration or through an import.
And that would be the same for Little Green Light as well. Those 3 options to be able to bring data in from an existing system.
And same with Kindful.
We had a comment that one of them uses a mobile app and really loves it. Do all 3 of you have mobile apps?
So Little Green Light does not have a mobile app at this time. Our forms are all mobile responsive. So if you're using our tools to be able to accept donations or payments online, they would be, but our software is not. It is cloud-based, so it is accessible via the web, but it is not mobile responsive, and there isn't a mobile app for
it. And with Kindful, same with fundraising tools, everything's mobile responsive. We don't have an app, but the CRM itself is mobile responsive if you're pulling it up on a phone or a tablet.
Bloomerang right now has an iOS mobile app. The Android app is being worked on right now. But like the others have said, it's since it's cloud-based, it's all mobile responsive. If you're like on a non-Apple device, you can always pull it up through your web browser.
Any final questions in this last couple of minutes? Please pop them in. I think I have asked all the questions that were asked in the chat and the Q&A. Yeah, so the question about the daily mission, they were tracking visitors coming to the gallery space. So thank you for answering that. All right, well, thank you again to Timmy, Michael, Olivia. You guys were amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time to share with us today about your products. To our attendees, I hope this was really helpful. Expect a follow-up email. Again, I will provide the contacts to our presenters today, as well as the recording to this webinar. I know it's pretty fast paced, so be nice to go back and review whatever you might have missed. Final plug, if you are in the process of selecting a tool and are interested in some help, please don't hesitate to reach out to Aparo. We're here to help our nonprofit partners. So again, thank you everyone for joining us, and have a wonderful rest of the day.
Thank you, everybody.